Namaste, beloveds, and welcome to Clearing the Deep Victim Archetype. So just begin by closing your eyes and following the breath, just watching the rise and fall of the chest, the expansion and contraction of the lungs. Allow the breath to really turn inwards into the body. And we're going to be working very deeply with the body in this call. And I just want to build this field together and get into the body of the call. So just allowing your breaths to take you inwards and dropping down into the diaphragm, just underneath the lungs. And allowing the breath to move into that place in the body. This strong muscle really works in so many different ways. So dropping awareness into that, giving permission for the diaphragm to relax. There's so much tension there. Giving permission for that to let go. And allowing the self to be drawn deeply into the body. Recognizing that the breath is this amazing bridge between matter and spirit. It crosses the boundaries of both. So allowing your breath to really ease tension in the body. And as you're watching the rise and the fall of the lungs, allow the breath to wash through the diaphragm, down into the belly. So much of that pre-verbal tension gets stored. And just giving permission to the gut to just let go of whatever it is ready to let go of. And then allowing the breath to take us down into the pelvis. Just recognizing that the breath can move through tissue by focusing our intention that it does so. So breathe through the pelvis, relaxing, releasing on the breath. Feel your weight pulling you down through the pelvis to the sitting bones, that you're feeling gravity. Dropping your weight down to the sitting bones, making solid contact with whatever it is you are sitting on. And then allowing yourself to rise up. So as you're feeling the pull down, you're also aware of the rise up through the body. So that you just lengthen the spine, not pulling, not forcing, just a gentle, subtle lengthening of the spine. And this allows energy to flow more smoothly, more easily. And now bring your awareness down to the legs, the muscles in the legs, the buttocks, the thighs, down to the knees, the calves, the shin, into the feet, and spending a moment with the feet. Hundreds of bones in the feet. Lots of muscles are working to keep us balanced. So giving the feet and the legs complete permission to relax. And then the whole body permission to relax and let go. And bring your awareness back. So feel it traveling back up right to the center of the chest, to the heart. And just breathe in to expand the heart. Just a soft inner permission to open and expand the heart. Inviting the universal heart to be present in your chest, in your body, in your field. And this is really starting to happen for many of us now. That vast, infinite, universal heart coming online. Just allow yourself to let go of the human constructs or of the human patterns of wounding around the heart. And just dropping into this vast field of energy that is infinite in nature. Just breathe. Wash that through every cell of your body. It does not have to be a laborious process. Just intend it with the breath. This heart energy, love without conditions. It lubricates everything. It makes everything much easier. And it will certainly facilitate what we are working with today. And then just recognizing that there's a strong field of energy with all of us that are gathered here. And that's really, really beautiful to experience. And we're coming together with a shared intent that creates an extraordinary opening of power. So acknowledging all of the others gathered here on the call at the moment, and all of those that aren't physically present, that will be listening to the call at other times, acknowledging that and just holding the willingness to create a unified field with all of those on the call. And it's the field that does the work. So see, sense, feel, or imagine, whatever works for you, a circle of energy holding us all. And then we're inviting and acknowledging the extraordinary support of all of our guiding energy, all of our multidimensional aspects, and some of the aspects of us that are engaged in our highest evolution. And it's worth remembering that not always are those aspects working for us. Sometimes we have aspects that are working against us as well. So with this, we're just inviting only the aspects that are working for our highest evolution to be present here. And nothing else that is not included in this field for this time. Just giving the deepest possible permission for the body and the energy field to release anything and everything that they're ready to let go of, and to open up and integrate whatever is ready to be integrated. And I know that there's been a terrific amount of energy that has been building, waiting for this call to get underway from last night. There are more energies adding themselves to the field. That will continue. So, there's been a shift in timelines. And I really understood that we were moving from a huge collective timeline, which deeply engaged us in the victim-tyrant polarity. And that's been a really, really necessary polarity for us to explore. There's been a lot of growth that's come from that for many of us, or for all of us, because we're all bound up in that timeline. And in that polarity, we've all played victim. We've all had deep experiences of being victimized in this and other lifetimes. And perhaps more difficult for us to acknowledge or remember is the fact that we have all been persecuted too. So if you have memories of enslavement, or being burned at the stake, or horrible experiences in other times or in this lifetime, I guarantee that you will have lived the opposite as well. You will have been the one that has done the persecuting. You will have been the one that lit the fires, that did the burning. You will have been the one that owned or controlled slaves. We always play both sides of the field, because there would be no point otherwise. There would be no point in just getting one level of experience. And now for many of us that are choosing evolution, it seems that we're done with that timeline. And that's an extraordinarily exciting proposition. We can't take it with us. We can't drag that forward into whatever is coming next year. And next year is, looking into the energies of next year, it seems like a wide open, very, very clear, bright space to me. And this is energetically speaking. I think, at a planetary level, things will be tricky and sticky for a while. But it's going to be more and more possible for us to exist in higher frequency states or higher dimensions and not be nearly as much impacted by the energies that are playing out in what is left of the third dimension. So letting go of this victim, tyrant, paradigm, polarity is key to this. Key in our evolutionary process. So when I saw after the shift in timelines, and as always, I think, this is going to be simple and easy. And of course, it wasn't at all. There has been this enormous upwelling of a lot of the very deep unconscious, the victim identity. And this is just being, I don't know the word really, but it's just being disgorged, or I think that sounds pretty okay, disgorged from our cellular structure and from the deep subconscious parts of the energy field where we no longer need to explore this. A lot of it is like there is no memory, there is no history of this stuff, not formally, as in FORMANLY. So there's not much to explore, but deep in the subconscious, there is the patterning. And that's what we're looking at. So don't worry about not having any memories or not feeling like you can remember anything. You don't need to. And even as I'm talking about it, I get energies are pushing into those areas of our energy field. So I'm just going to invite that deep subconscious processes, the deep subconscious aspects of us that are engaged in the victim tyrant paradigm, the victim tyrant polarity, and asking that these energies working with us really, really open up those spaces and purify, clarify them, bring them to resolution. And I'm assuming that if you've turned up for this call, you're going to be aligned with that intention. If there's anything I'm talking about or inviting that doesn't feel comfortable for you, all you have to do is give the instruction to your field. No, I don't want to participate in that. And it will get blocked. Whatever it is that I'm inviting. But I think we're all interested in working with it. So we're just really inviting the deepest subconscious aspects of the field to open to these energies, these extraordinary evolutionary impulses now that are really, really happy for us to let go of a labeled history on this planet, so that we can truly remember what it is we came for, what it is we signed up for, maybe thousands of lifetimes ago. We can truly remember our multi-dimensional patterning, multi-dimensional nature, fact that we exist already in many, many dimensions. And many of those dimensions are becoming present in this now. And I don't think that has happened before in the way it's happening now. And in a way, it's available to millions of people all at earlier. It's always been available to individuals that have worked really hard and pushed through their own and the collective conditioning to forge a pathway. But now, in this time, it's available to whoever wants it. And so as the energy is pushing deeper and deeper into the subconscious aspects of our collective field, and some of this is around the awareness, and it's a growing awareness on the planet. Many of us have heard these stories and read and investigated stories of our genetic manipulation. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, this happened. And it happened to disconnect us from the many, many innate capacities that we had. And so our systems were downgraded. And as a result, there has been this deep, deep level of despair that I have witnessed in the collective around this patterning. As if no matter how hard we try, we're never going to escape. We're never going to free ourselves from that level of conditioning. So let's just hold that despair, this deep, deep despair, calling up any aspect of it in your body, in your field, in your psyche. Just be willing to offer that up as these energies penetrate deep into the structuring that has worked very hard to keep us bound, to keep us limited. And a lot of energy pushing, and it's very, very subtle, but actually really powerful. I can feel it through my body, just pushing its way through. So we're just giving permission, complete permission, for any of the ideas that there is no escape, that there is no other way, that we will always be enslaved, always be energy seeking to manipulate and extort, to own and manipulate our bodies, our fields. There will always be energy seeking to siphon vast amounts of energy and information from us. We play out those patterns at many, many levels in our lives. But here, at this point in time, there are lines being drawn in the sand, so to speak. So just giving complete permission for your body and your field to release all of the patterning, all of the anchoring into these constructs now. Chains falling away. Deep through the field as we open into the possibility of ever more freedom, ever more expansion. And if it feels appropriate to you, just bow in acknowledgement to all that you've experienced through the victim-tyrant polarity. There's no right or wrong, no good or bad, just experience. No need to feel guilty, the horrible crimes that you will have committed in your evolution. No need to hold any resentment about the awful things that will have been done to you in your evolution. Just an acknowledgement to it all. And inviting your highest self to unravel any places of binding in your system to that whole paradigm. And in the collective field now, there's a much, much stronger collective Sushumna. Sushumna is the central energetic column or meridian that runs in the center of our spine in the body. And it anchors us. It's our bridge, if you like, between heaven and earth. And we are the Sushumna now. So it's not something that's in us. It's just another dimension of what we all have. A certain collective vertical power current that anchors deep into the earth and high into the heavens. And it has become much brighter as lots and lots of these chains have fallen away. And it may be useful here just to breathe into your personal Sushumna, your central column. So just imagining a tube of light as if you were looking at a long fluorescent tube running vertically through the midline of your body, bright and clear, anchoring deep into the core, the heart of the earth, and high into the heavens. Maybe linking it to the sun or the galactic sun or the central sun of this universe. Perhaps all of them. For some reason there is such strong fragrance of roses. Thank you and gratitude to all the masters that have come in right now through this fragrance. Recognizing at this level you are completely sourced by these vast fields of energy, of wisdom, of support. There's a deep shifting through the collective field as more and more clarity is opening up. And it's not that we have to do much here. We're just showing up with the intent to release the deep victim programming that has been running on this planet, and that's all. In effect, all we have to do is show up with that willingness as a clear intent and as a strong unified field. And then those energies that are working with us, for us, can really get into this piece of work. Because we've got quite a sizable field, and that automatically becomes available to the wider collective. It has an impact on the collective fields around the planet, makes it that much more available to everyone and everyone that's available to it. So just watch what happens in the group field to see, to be shown for you. seeing the way that you're seeing manifests for you, for that to really open up and expand you, get to see what's happening. And there's a strong clearing taking place in this circle of energy that we have created through the left side of that. Any deep patterning of guilt or shame about atrocities you may have been involved in battles and warfare, power games, it doesn't matter. The universe has seen it a billion times. There's no point to holding guilt or shame. We are here to just learn and grow through the experiences, to expand more fully into new levels of integrity of consciousness. And this work of clearing this deep patterning of the victim tyrant polarity really opens the way for the energies that are still waiting to come in. So we're really deepening into the collective field. Now there's an outpouring happening. It's as if the field has sort of cracked open and thick sludge is just falling away, pouring out. And this is something that we can witness. This is the death of the old world, the death of the old way. We don't have to put anything right or save anything. It's not meant to be saved. The old world is meant to die. We are here to herald, witness, and to support the birth of a new world. The world that's being birthed. There's no right, no wrong. And this can be our intention to stand in our field, in our body, aligned in our Sushumna, our central column, for what is right. And what is right is that there is a new world being born. And much of the old paradigm of control and suppression is falling away. It doesn't look like that sometimes, but we can see from the chaos that those old energies are panicking. We don't need to fight that. If we simply align our intention to stand for what's right, to stand in truth, not to fight for what's wrong, just standing for the truth. So just inviting that in, standing for what is right, and we can offer this as a field of support to everyone and everywhere that it's needed on the planet. And this is something to be really clear, as not to be pushing for one side to win, but holding it from a complete field of neutrality. Because in truth, we have no idea what is needed, what the earth wants, what the heavens want. So if we hold a field of complete neutrality for that space, for what is unfolding there in neutrality, the vastness of love without condition. So again, come back to the heart center, the center of the chest. Feel your body and your field, and just allow yourself to witness in complete neutrality all of your victim tyrant battles, and perhaps holding some special attention for whatever is happening on the planet. Again, watching any need to push for a particular outcome. We don't need to. Let's just hold that field, recognizing that as we offer it to others, it starts to deepen in us. And there's a beautiful opening deep in the earth now, as a lot of the patterns we were looking at have been washed away, and watching that energy rising up into our collective field, supporting our neutral state. The earth has always been neutral about what she would do. On the surface of her body, she's allowed us to do more or less whatever we want. She's given her body over to us for that, to see if we can enter into her level of neutrality. Ga, ya, 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 ga, ya, 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 ga, ya, 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 ya. And that energy is rising into the collective as a strong pulling of energy out through the back, if you can sense that. Just pulling the whole arrangement of energy through the individual body, as well as the collective spine. A dense layer coming out of the spine. And at the same time, there's this influx of pure golden radiance from the earth. So holding that field of neutrality, centering yourself in the universal heart as it shows up in your body, Om. A strong clearing happening through the back of the heart, where it aligns with the spine and up through the neck. Just breathing through there, through the shoulders, back of the head. And again, coming back to that field of neutrality, to the center of the heart, moving into position, as it were, to start to receive these energies that have been building since last night, this morning, building up for this call. And it's my understanding that we have to release this patterning all the way up along the spine, to the shoulders, the back of the head. So receive this level of support from the earth before the energies really start to integrate. And a deep bow of gratitude to you for showing up. Let's just hold that neutral space for a minute more. Just breathing through the heart again. Just really giving permission for that to expand, to be as vast, as infinite as it wants, to create a beautiful field into which these energies will pour like a chalice, filling the field with energies that are so refined here to make us fine again. And all of a sudden I've got this huge rush of energy moving through me. Big wave of emotions as my body responds. So just giving yourself complete permission to receive the energies into your body. See a stream of silvery, bluey brightness. And it's coming from beyond the atmosphere of the planet, the energy field of the planet. And a lot of beings are here to support this influx of light into the human collective. So just giving yourself permission to receive. We just went through a major unwrapping earlier on, and now these energies are starting to pour in. So you may well be feeling them coming in through the crown, And it's actually more towards the back of the head more than the top of the head. Just running through the head, moving forward into the jaw, releasing through the jaw, then through the throat, neck, really focusing into the spine. So where the skull rests on the top of the spine. And these are very, very fine strands of light, very finely weaving themselves into the structure. And as they are weaving, they are pulling in with them a field, a cloud of brightness that's just moving slowly down the spine. The collective spine is starting to disassemble itself, and just the elements of it moving further apart in a dissolution process to make more space for these fields and frequencies that are coming in to integrate. And then all these layers of conditioning that have arranged themselves through the nervous system that plays itself out of the spine, that are like the branches or roots of a tree branching out from the spinal cord. And we have coated them in layer upon layer of desensitization over lifetimes. And now, as those start to dismantle, it might be useful for you to give complete permission for any ways in which you have desensitized yourself over lifetimes. And that's been a necessity. So there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's been necessary for us to be much less sensitive than we are capable of in order to survive on this planet. But now we can give permission for our sensitivity to reassert itself in a way that serves us. Not that all of a sudden we are too sensitive to leave our homes and so we're just housebound. But it's by inviting sensitivity to be an integrated gifting function that serves us, that alerts us, that awakens us, that inspires us. And now the color of these incoming energies, as it's moving down the back, almost to the level of the heart, the color is starting to turn into gold. Really, really beautiful, liquid, molten gold. And at once, It's like something being unzipped and undone, but also completely reworked and refashioned. So the whole of the nervous system is getting a makeover. And another unraveling through those strong muscles that support the spine on either side. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The energies continue to penetrate deeply into the physical form. And now, in and at the level of the diaphragm, in the collective diaphragm, is starting to open like a doorway. And there's a lot of energy just walking out of there. It's quite interesting. It reminds me of students. When school is over and children are just running out of the school gates, so happy to be out. There's just a lot of energy leaving the collective diaphragm. And there's this huge influx of light as the energies are moving into the diaphragm, restructuring, replacing, affecting the throat also because it's coming in. Dropping into that area of the diaphragm, final clearing happening at that level, and now really working down deeper through the spine. And the whole of the lower belly is again receiving an influx of energy as these high frequency lines of light weave themselves very, very rapidly down the spine. So the weaving is very rapid, but the movement down the spine is quite slow. Like it's pulling down a beautiful field of richness, abundance down the spine, bringing in sovereignty. So opening to receive sovereignty. Ga, ya, ya, ya. Ga, ya, ya, ye. Ga, ya, ya, ya. Ga, ya, ya, ye. not any of the old models of sovereignty or rulership, just inviting sovereignty in its most evolved state for you to integrate into your system. We have lived for eons in enslavement by others, enslaved by the idea of power, over seeking power. And as all of that would fall away, we can simply stand in our own sovereignty. And now the quickly weaving strands of energy are moving into the lower part of the spine, into the psoas muscle. It's a big muscle that attaches the lower part of the spine underneath the last of the ribs on either side of the spine, running down to the pelvis and then down into the legs. And it really has a huge part to play in the fight or flight mechanism. It is what enables us to stand and fight or make a run for it, or to curl up in a ball. This muscle would do all of that. And we hold a huge amount of tensions, patterns, and traumas in this. So we're just going to give complete permission for the collective psoas to release bound traumas, ancient patterning of traumas, tension, anxiety. A lot of nerves run down through the psoas muscles, down into the legs, into some of the organs in the lower part of the body. So as we release tension through that muscle, or that muscle starts to awaken and enliven itself, there's the rapidly weaving energy coming in. The energy is coming into the sacrum as well. And now there's a whole field of energy coming out of the psoas muscle. I need to take some deep breaths. Big waves of emotion, clearing. And the psoas runs around the inside of the pelvis. And if there's tension in that, it will hold the pelvis quite locked and tight. And now the sacrum, this beautiful triangular shaped bone at the base of the spine, really begins to be illuminated by these incoming fields of light, by the inflow of sovereignty, clearing, like, when sometimes you must have seen in movies, archaeologists, find these, in their findings, when they have something old and they find a piece and they need to clean it. So they clean it with very, very fine brushes, just to clean the dirt that's being embedded in that peace. Similarly, we are being cleaned as these energies are moving deeper and deeper into our structure. And again, another wave of energy coming into the whole of the nervous system. As the psoas muscle really just starts to soften. It's almost as if everything's becoming molten or mobile. Yai, 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 yai. Receiving and understanding that in part what we are integrating here is pure starlight, and the many strands of energy that are weaving rapidly are strands of light from different stars throughout this galaxy. Again, we are being rewoven as galactic beings, reminded that that is what we are. So claim that if it feels appropriate for yourself. Claim your galactic heritage as it weaves its way through your spine to the sacrum. The sacrum is taking a little while. It's receiving a lot of attention. Yai, 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 yai. Now the energy is also running right down into the tailbone, down into the coccyx. And these finely weaving strands act like so many drills in a way, as well as just pushing away through the structure of the spine and the sacrum and the coccyx. And then the coccyx is filling up. And as that happens, the light now, silvery and gold of galactic sovereignty, is now dropping into the earth to establish itself there, connecting in the earth. And so as we get deeper into this, we're literally weaving a piece of our ancient heritage, a piece that we have been disconnected from, even though at some level we agreed for that disconnection to happen. But it's now being rewoven. And so this energy connecting deeply into the earth, through this collective spine, into the molten core, the heart of the earth. And of course, the earth is galactic. She's a star. We are in the galaxy, so we can be nothing but galactic. And we always tend to view it as galactic being out there. But in actuality, we are immersed in it. And I'm seeing that energy spreading through this molten field. A lovely, lovely clearing up through the upper chest and a falling away over the shoulders and moving back through the body into the head. And here the sutra patterning of the skull, a place where all of those plates of the skull fit together, just being sort of loosened. Gaia, and there's like a glassy appearance or a crystalline sheen in the collective skull. And all of a sudden, that collective skull is just opening. And so just watching that opening through the collective skull and watching this beautiful alignment through the spine of the pure gold and silver frequencies of sovereignty and understanding that in a sense, this is the body being reminded of its galactic heritage. Just the bodies, the physical body being reminded. Gaia, and now the whole of the collective field, as it were, dissolves into the galactic field and ripples out to the whole of the galaxy. And now that field is expanding, and all of a sudden it seems as if we're a huge circle arranged above the planet. And the field that we're holding between us has just been draped over the planet. So I guess this is an offering for the wider collective. So let's just hold that as an intention. Gaia, Gaia, that whatever we have received, be made available to anybody on the planet who might be seeking these upgrading, refining, reminding energies. We offer that out to the wider collective, to the universal collective. Gaia, just feeling another energy coming in. And again, giving yourself permission to perceive what's happening for yourself and also for the collective. Just using these high frequency energies to enable, to expand your capacity to perceive, to see, to sense, because the field is strengthening and growing as we're offering it back. It's as though with that offering, there's a huge amount of even more energy being added to the field. Now everything is starting to quiet down. This was a beautiful, beautiful clearing. It's been a really, really huge influx of energy, which is why I've kept a day's gap between the calls. Giving gratitude and thanks. All that came forth for us, all the beings of light. Gratitude and thanks to all of your masters, angels, guides, teams of light, higher selves. Thank you so much. Please take care of yourselves. Make sure you are very, very well hydrated today and tomorrow. I don't even know what to say. I'm so kind of overwhelmed. And as you start coming out, beloveds, asking for you to be integrated back into your physical forms with the help of your body elemental. Integrate, integrate, integrated. Rub your palms together, bringing all that beautiful energy into your hearts, balancing yourselves out, and then bringing it into your eyes. And whenever you feel ready, you may open your eyes. We are complete. Gratitude, gratitude,